Okay. Wow. Finally, I'm getting things going and figuring it out, apparently. It is. This whole YouTube thing has been absolutely insane. So bear with me one moment while we get things started. Okay. So pretty much we have moved from Instagram to YouTube here. And we are gonna be sending out some invites and making sure that we all know. We are gonna be bringing on Hugo, welcome in. We are gonna be bringing in Jay and Dan from STASHHH LOOT. Super pumped to have them in. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. So, like I said, this is 3 from FUNKO, although we do branch out of the FUNKO range. My chat's usually on IG every Wednesday, anywhere between 9 and 10. And hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I decided that we're gonna move it on to YouTube. So STASHHH LOOT is gonna be the first, they're gonna be the first guests that we have on the YouTube. So I'm pretty pumped, and we are going to bring them in just a second. I want to make sure that we are all good. How's my audio, guys? Audio, camera, everything all good? What's up, guys? What's up? Robert, Ray, Ashley, hey, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Michael, welcome in, guys. Sorry, I'm like getting over a cold, so I'm all stuffed up and it's craziness. All right. Awesome. Sounds good. We are going to bring the guys on. Again, super pumped. If you guys are not aware of STASHHH LOOT, well, I'm pretty excited to introduce you. So let's bring them on.
Why not?
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
What is going on?
Hey, hey, hey.
How we doing?
Finally got it going.
All right. A couple of things to set it up, but technical difficulties expected.
It's my first time on like YouTube going live, so like having to use that like third-party StreamYard stuff is.
You're doing fine. We got this.
All right, so welcome in, Jay and Dan. You guys own STASHHH LOOT.
Yep, I'm Jay Stash.
Dan Loot.
I'm so pumped to have you guys here. How are you doing? How is your day going?
So far, so good. We leftover Halloween candy, left Puerto Rican food, and the baby's sleeping. Right? The baby's sleeping. The baby's sleeping. So what else do you ask for?
Wow, that's sounds like a great night.
Right?
All right, so just for the people that may not know about you guys, tell them a little bit about what you guys do. What is STASHHH LOOT?
Yeah, so started back in February of 18, and we do basically pop-up shops originally is what we started on. We really wanted to stay off of Instagram. I know that there was a lot of other people doing their thing on Instagram. Dan Loot and I said there's a big opportunity to do pop-up shops. And we were fortunate enough to have a friend who owned a CrossFit gym. We took CrossFit to our first pop-up shop where we had about 125 people come out to support us. And from that event, we booked New York Comic Con, and the rest is history. So pops, toys, collectibles, and definitely doing Pokemon pack breaks.
Wow, that's intense. All right, so what a wonderful overview. Perfect. So how long have you guys been in the pop game? Like collecting, selling?
We started with Star Wars. Star Wars was the first line. And then obviously that's one of the most difficult and deepest lines. So that ended up quickly. That was like our first attempt at a mystery box, actually. So, but for a while.
So how long have you guys been collecting and selling?
So selling for 2 years now.
2 years.
For almost 4 to 5 years. Yeah, he's been collecting longer than me.
Okay. All right. So what got you guys initially started in like creating the business?
Huge. Started here behind me. There's probably there's 5 left there. You can get about 300, but we started that collection. One year Comic-Con, we won the Funko lottery that year.
Mhm.
One 5 days later on eBay,
Mhm.
we were like, we have,
Yeah.
you know,
That's one of those.
I don't want to interrupt. You guys are breaking up just a little bit, and it's just enough where I can't really like put together the sentences. Just a little bit. So I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? When did you guys start? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. So what we said, we started off with Star Wars originally, and it was back here that most of the pieces were. There were about 300, and then after a trip, we won New York Comic-Con lottery and saw what the prices for things were going on eBay, and I said, you know what, we got to get in on this. Dan Luke called me. He kind of kept pressuring me for a couple of weeks, and the Biggie Pop was the first pop that I bought to sell. So from there is kind of like when we got started on selling things, and we were like, you know what, it's fun. And again, it's always been about trying to make things fun, right? So we didn't want to just start selling on Instagram because a lot of people were doing WAFs or, you know, just trying to promote their pre-orders and all that kind of stuff. But for us, the pop-up shops is really where it hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with this year. So you guys have probably had to do like a big change in how you do business, obviously considering, you know, all the craziness. So what has it been like kind of having to pause on like the pop-up shops and like going more into the auctioning, which I mean, you guys are freaking killing it in, like came out of the woodwork and really do an awesome job. Like the auctions, I mean, on Halloween, you guys had what, lights, like a freaking light show going on?
Of course.
Absolutely. So what has this year been like, having to switch things up dramatically?
So it started off tough, right? You want to talk about PalCon?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean,
yeah,
we did New York Comic-Con, right? So
right.
to do the wait list to be in New York Comic-Con is like 5 years. We were fortunate enough to have somebody who had been doing it for so long already that they had an extra space available for us. So,
oh wow, go.
Come off and doing New York Comic-Con,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like ready to go. We're like, okay, now we're in. We were in the big World Series championship game,
right, in the rookie season,
and we did really. And you know, all of the conventions got canceled.
Everything. I mean, we were lined up. So we started off the year with PalCon, a smaller convention in the Brooklyn Convention Center. We try and do a lot of things in our backyard, obviously. Then we were lined up to do Ace Comic-Con and everything after that. And a week before we were scheduled to go to Ace, we had to cancel everything. All the U-Haul, everything that got moved, almost everything. So it kind of hit us. And then the transition online is really something that started. We actually, to be honest, we were going to start trying to do drop shipping.
Right? It took us 3 months to get back on track.
Yeah.
We pretty much just, because all we had were conventions and pop-up shops lined up throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't sold a single thing online yet.
Now, we didn't even think we really had an identity online. I mean, we know we gained a lot of organic followers, but you know, the transition online, like I said, as tough as it's been for a lot of people, it could have been tougher. You know, we found a really great community online that really supported STASHHH LOOT when we weren't online, and we're thrilled to have us online. And when we kicked it off with mystery boxes, that kind of exploded. I mean, our first mystery box sold out in 6 hours. The next one after that was 5 minutes. So, you know, the intensity of support was both overwhelming, but, you know, unexpected, you know, at the same time.
Yeah, it was overwhelming, I'm sure, but like, I'm really happy it went in a like swirl, but like in a good positive direction, just from the pop-up to being online. It's very fortunate. I'm very happy that it worked out for you guys. So aside from the craziness, I generally tend to touch on this subject with most of the people that I have on here, like in the Funko game. But how do you think that Funko has been doing this year, just in general? You know, with just the switch up from last year, people complaining about it being too many pops, nothing selling out, Funko's dying, blah blah blah, to now it's there's not enough and they're always selling out and just the total opposite. So what do you guys think?
A double-edged sword, because there's people who like that there's a lot, and there's people who do not like that there's a lot. There's people who like that there's a little bit. So it's like whoever, try to cater to everybody, because people get really emotional about it sometimes, and we get it. We're fans.
Right.
There were times I didn't care how much the PPG was on something. I would buy it.
It's true. So you guys are also collectors, and you guys are flippers.
Yep.
Also, so Clint, like Franchise Kicks, tends to use like the flipper term as like a nice like branding stamp, and I enjoy it. So, what do you guys? How do you guys feel about How do you guys feel about the term flippers?
Everybody, it depends on, right? It's kind of like box condition. Everybody's got their own version of what a flipper is, right?
Sure.
The capacity, whether you sell what makes you a flipper, right? One pop or over 100 pops sold, or if you get something to resell it, right? Because a lot of people get 2 pops of something and they'll get one and they'll try and resell it, or whatever the case is. But as far as the term flippers, we've heard it. No one really, I guess, called us flippers, but essentially that's what we do, right? We buy and we buy for one price, we sell it for another.
And I think our buying structure has changed. I think the act of flipping and going ahead and reselling it later on, we've kind of like, we have our own business out now, so we have a distributor's license. We can get our own cases of things.
Right.
Okay, cool.
We don't need to, buy out Hot Topic.
Right. And the same way that people are waiting online in the Funko and don't hit the drop, it happens to us. We were just as unfortunate on SDCC as other people were. And we do pay aftermarket prices on a lot of things too, because at the end of the day, it's for us is to have that inventory and get it to people, whether there's a small profit in it for us or a little bit more of a profit that we're comfortable with. But, there's been times where we kind of just pay the asking price so that we have it, so that we get a draw to help us sell everything else, because a majority of the pops that we get, we're buying people's collections, right? I'm on Let Go, Offer Up all the time, and I'm just trying to buy collections and make deals. So,
oh my, yeah. Like and people kind of question like, how do you, or why? I guess like people question pricing, like why are you flipping it at the, like. If people were to go on and spend as much time as actual flippers do going in to find collections to buy, it's so hard to find that perfect one where you can resell it at a decent price where you don't look crazy, but you're still making money off of it.
And the crazy thing is too is, like you mentioned, it's a lot of work to get pops. Like I find myself, I'm on,
we're buying more pops than we're selling.
Yeah, we're buying more pops than we're selling, right? And it happens. Like we are either going to sell out. If we buy a collection of 50, we have a chance to sell out maybe 25 of them. The other 25 of them might sit on the shelf, but between that, there's driving to get them. There's negotiating with people. The hours, I can't tell you, I must spend at least 10 to 12 hours on Offer Up, Let Go, apps of that kind, just trying to get anything, right? So, and it's shipping costs and everything like that. So ultimately, like I said, that hustle and bustle of it is a lot of fun. But when we're putting on the show, because even at a pop-up shop, right, the same energy you see us bring to lives is the same energy we brought in person. And anybody that's followed us from there to now will tell you the same thing. I just try and make you feel like you're there. So with his kind of ideas and my kind of, I guess, golden voices, it's been turned. A lot of people like to say that we make it that much fun. It's been, both successful and unsuccessful at times, but overall fun.
So you guys are actually the first like pop-up shop business that I've had on here. Can you actually tell us a little bit about like what goes into that? So like the whole setup, like it doesn't have to be, I guess, the entire ins and out, but just the general idea of like,
we laugh, right?
Because it's chaotic.
It is chaotic. Like It's
like throwing your own small convention.
right. And it's grabbing everybody who's a friend or a family and ready to help, right? Spending money on lunch and coordinating, getting all the pops there and setting everything up. Remember, we're using a CrossFit gym. So converting that, and it's a lot of, what is it? All those signs from GameStop that we go into GameStop and all those cardboard cutouts you see. I wait 30 days to try and get that cardboard cutout just so we could have it at the pop-up shop, And it's a lot of the marketing that he does, right? He makes all the flyers and everything. We try and make them as fun and drawing as possible. But yeah, having a pop-up shop is a lot of fun. It's like throwing your own convention, right? Remember, you're putting all the product out that day. So you're only going to be as good as, I guess, the people that support you and are willing to find you.
That's very true. Huh? Do you guys, so now that you've got to spend a decent amount of time doing both online, the virtual selling, all that good stuff, which do you still prefer, pop-up, or do you think once everything settles, you guys are still going to kind of like get back into the pop-up but remain online?
Yeah. It's really the question is can we buy enough inventory fast enough? Because it takes a lot of inventory because, week to week, every 2 weeks when you do a pop-up shop or even online, you don't want to show up with the same stuff all the time, right? It's cool to have it at a pop-up shop. It's easier because you might draw different eyes into the shop, but at the live, week to week, a majority of the people joining are people that are there with you week to week. So you always want to have fresh inventory for them. So that's kind of one of the challenges we're anticipating when things get back to quote unquote normal.
Whatever that ends up being.
Getting the inventory,
So getting inventory. Now, I've had my fair share of steep shipping prices and driving. I took an entire, I think it was a full 24 hours. Grabbed a friend of mine, hopped in the car, drove all the way down to North Carolina. We left at 10 a.m., got there at maybe I think it was 11 p.m., loaded up, chatted for a few minutes, got back in, drove all the way back to I think we got back at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
How crazy has it been? Have you guys taken super long road trips? Do you just suck it up and pay shipping prices? What do you guys do?
So yeah, both. I mean, I think as far as the road trips, right? I'm out in Jersey, he's here in the Bronx, and first off, coordinating that in itself is costly, right? I don't know where you're from, but crossing the GW isn't cheap nowadays. So either way, the George Washington Bridge is involved. So with traffic alone, yeah, we're talking heading out to Long Island, maybe 2-3 hour road trips. And I've done it. One time we went to go pick up a Kobe Bryant and in Long Island, right? What would you drive? We drove 3.5 hours away each way to go get one pop. I mean, I got a great deal on it. And at that time, a lot of people were looking for the NBA pops and stuff like that. Obviously, particularly Kobe because of everything that's been going on. But a pop that we've never had. And you know what? It's I would do it if I were working for somebody else, right? If somebody else were my boss and they say, hey, I need you to drive here and go get this for me, I'd do it, right? For my salary or whatever it is per hour. So for myself, for us, for our company, I'll get in that car like you did, 24 hours if it takes it.
And I rented a car too. I don't know. Normally I don't care, but I just turned 26. So as I get into my adult life,
yeah,
people are you don't want to put that, what was it? 800 miles? I can't, but you don't want to put that in your car. So yeah. I rented one, which is not cheap. Then go.
I mean, all right, you get inventory for collecting and for mystery boxes. So it's probably been almost the same kind of challenges you faced. I mean, where are you from?
CT.
Oh, so the tri-state area has a lot of great pops, but again, especially offer up and let go, it's always Brooklyn or Queens or Long Island all the way out by Montauk. So, or even by you, I don't know which direction you're going, so you probably have a better pick over there.
But I feel the West Coast
Oh yeah.
has everything.
Oh yeah.
Like their normal stores have like the Grail Pops that we spend forever driving 3 hours to go get that one pop. And they have just stores. I forget that one store that mostly everybody goes to, but FUNKO headquarters is over there. They're very lucky all the way over there. I need to move shop.
When we luckily every time that we try to get a high value piece, it's been through people that met at conventions and pop-up shops and stuff like that. Like as of recently, I'm on a new guy. I'll keep my secrets, obviously, but I've got a new guy who provides me grails at a great price. And I think in the past maybe 8 days, I might have gotten like almost upwards of 15, 20 grails from him. So it's kind of like just finding a connect sometimes, so that way the shipping isn't too bad. But yeah, that's from Cali when you're buying 90-piece hauls is not pretty.
No. So, okay, back to the cons really quickly.
Yeah.
Have you guys were breaking up a bit, so I'm sorry just to repeat this. Did you guys actually participate in the NYCC? Was it last year?
Yes, 2019.
Yes. Okay, so this is actually the first time that I get to ask, because the only other person that I've spoken with that had gotten to have a booth at the Comic-Cons was Nerdy Girl. So she shared some of her fun little stories about the comic book world and all of that stuff. But can you tell me a little bit about just like your experience in participating something that large? I mean, they're packed. Holy moly.
Logistics, I mean,
so we were, so it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Started Wednesday morning. 10-foot box. Right. We had to wheel in every single bin all the way to our booth, which was all the way in the left corner of the convention center. Right. So there's that.
Not to mention they won't let you put 4 wheels on the ground. You can only have 2 wheels. So if you have a dolly that converts to a flat dolly, you can't make it flat because of what is it? Union rules. Yeah. So it makes it that much heavier and the trips that much more laborious.
Yeah, it's the roughest, most stressful, most fun, and happiest week of life.
Yeah, long. I mean, long days.
But to be in that convention, 325,000 people showed up that weekend.
It was insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of people that came to our booth just because of just curiosity. We've turned to organic followers, people that still shop with us today. And I mean, you asked about the experience of being there, right? This setup is tiring. The early morning, the late nights of the 4 days, right? Especially teardown. Teardown is the biggest nightmare of them all. But you know what? Being in there, it sounds so corny what I'm about to say, but it's truly a dream come true, right? You get to the point where you're surrounded by everybody who's there for the same thing, right? To enjoy comics, to enjoy fantasy, to enjoy video gaming, Marvel, DC. It's the atmosphere in itself makes every sleepless moment worth it.
That's not corny at all. That sounds like a dream.
It is.
So, aside from the dream aspect, did you guys run? So something that Nerdy Girl was telling me about was kind of just, she had, I can't remember. I don't think she might have had like a small issue with, but I guess a lot of booths, and I'm sure everyone does, but faced like theft. Did you guys have, like, how are you guys set up? Like, you guys had someone at each corner ready to go. Did you guys run into any issues?
A 10x10 booth, first off, packed with 1,500 pops and items is not very big to start off with.
True.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, you're swarmed, right? There's people everywhere. Not only as being the 2 guys with the most knowledge at our booth, obviously we got a lot of help from our wives, work cash for us, right? They try and do pops. We have another guy, late night stasher, who is one of our first employees, been with us since the beginning. But again, when you have when you consider the people with the most knowledge there and the decision makers, it makes keeping your eye on everything kind of difficult. So a lot of it is trust, right? Trusting the environment, trusting the people around you, but also with a total of maybe 8 people that could fit in there. Where we were at, we're kind of fortunate where we didn't really have to worry about it too much.
But it could have happened.
Right.
It was so chaotic that people could have actually stole from us, and we wouldn't
even know it.
We didn't notice.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know.
Because it was you know, you want to say we got there, we're like, okay, we're up against
right
and Undiscovered Realms,
FUNKO themselves,
FUNKO,
right,
and all these big names, you know, retro.
Yeah. Right
Tokyo was right
around the corner,
right beside us. Toy
yeah,
Tokyo.
Right beside us.
So we were like, okay, so this is New York Comic Con. We're gonna learn some lessons. But we were busy every second of that convention.
Yeah. So if from New York Comic Con, you got lucky.
So do you guys prefer your pop-up shop where you have like your 100, 200 people come and support, or would you rather be setting up several times a year in these bigger
both, right? It sounds crazy, but again, I'm going to get into something that's going to be like, I'm all about really, and so is he, right? This guy drives me right here. This guy, he's my best friend, right? My cousin, my brother. We've been since we were kids, right? We're talking history. His daughter was just born. My wife is expecting this, right? So being in it with somebody like this, it really makes you believe like we can do anything, right? So bring on more pop-up shops, right? Because I love that face-to-face. I love, being there, meeting the people, the setup, right? The tear down, logistics, everything like that, right? All of it. Give us more, right? Because I live and breathe for this. Like not only Funko Pops, right? Not just that, but providing good time to people, whether it's a 10 by 10 at New York Comic Con or at a cross be converted into a pop-up shop. We like to be challenged and overcome and see it through.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys, so I'm not super familiar with pop-up shops, so forgive me, but do you guys have one location near you that like you pop up in and sell? Or do you guys legitimately have like a truck, you load it up and you go like city to city, state to state? Like, how do you guys do those?
A little bit of both. We do a little bit of both. We start, we have one main location in New Jersey. Okay. The CrossFit gym was our main location,
right?
Until things get back to normal again. But we branched out to Brooklyn and Connecticut, and we've done conventions in other places as well. New York Comic Con wasn't the only convention we did. We did about 5 conventions last year. So we were slated to do about 12 this year, along with Rhode Island Comic Con and Terrificon, Keystone Comic Con, PAX East. We had a lot of things lined up.
Yeah, but it's hopping into that U-Haul and just kind of driving is really how we did it. Yeah.
How far have you guys ever done, or how far have you guys ever gone to do a pop-up shop?
It was going to be Ace, but it ended up, it's been Connecticut.
Boston.
Connecticut, yeah. In, I don't know wherever they have the I don't remember where it's at off the top of my head, but Mohegan, so which is like 3.5 hours from here. Is it something like that? 3.5? Obviously a hotel stay away. So
3.5 in a truck.
Yeah, 3.5 in a truck for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
We're also fortunate, right, to be on the East Coast, right? We're from the Bronx, New York. You meet people that way. You convert. You find this person and that person. Before we knew it, we were in Brooklyn Comic Con, right? Which may seem to a lot of people like a small show in the area, but it was a huge show. It was a banger. Like
sure.
We're talking about these guys did conventions completely differently. So big shout out to Brooklyn Comic Con and the whole Sexy Nerds. They had a wrestling ring right in the middle of the convention. It was great. So with that word of mouth, the pop-up shops grew. We were able to get into a few conventions, and like I said, we started selling February 2018. And really, if it wasn't our pop-up shop and it wasn't a convention, that's really where you saw us. So we're talking about maybe 8 to 12 events last year, compared to this year, like you brought up, it's really just been the auctions and trying to keep up with that. And, the entertainment factor comes into that. So.
Okay. So gently floating away from Funko really quickly. Now, I haven't yet, I guess, dipped my toe in the water, if I'm going to use a quote. But have you guys, just before we get into the subject, have you guys been, or have you collected Pokemon cards prior to this boom of them?
Yeah. Pokemon is life.
Right, like Pokemon has been
before
forever.
Anything.
Right. Back in when Blockbuster used to sell the packs. Red version, yellow version.
When I tell you, we're really happy that this is becoming. Pokemon has never lost momentum.
Right.
But the cards are coming back crazy,
right.
and we're so happy about that. It's like one of our favorite pastimes.
Mm-hmm. If you think about the Pokemon as a business, right, as an entity, they've been on this massive steamroll through media, and the games never stopped coming out, right? If you think about it, there's always been games on every generation. There's games Go Eevee, Go Pikachu, right, which we've played. So it's funny you even asked. A few days ago, I was home in my dad's house in Yonkers, and I was adamant on finding my old Pokemon binder. It was a small yellow Bulbasaur on the front. When we were kids, we printed this Pokemon, taped it in the back, and I found all of my old cards from '98 the other night. Let me tell you, it was a rush. I mean, you hear me scream on these auctions. You had to hear me scream the night I found it. It was like a time machine finding these cards. So yeah, I mean, we've been a part of it before it was a craze. Obviously there's super fans and there's people that, again, it's all about what you determine a super fan or whatever. But yeah, Pokemon was something we've been doing for a long time.
Why do you think it's gotten so, again, like you said, they've never really died down or gone away or become unpopular, but why? I feel like in the past couple months, it's just. Why do you think they've spiked?
I think market.
You're breaking up again. So I think the further away you are, the more it breaks up.
Let me get a little closer.
Move up.
Okay, so how about now? We're good?
Perfect.
So I think nostalgia always plays a role in these markets, So when you look at the generation before us, a lot of their stuff when they were kids and then when they were older has a lot of value. Parents' stuff has a lot of value. Their family heirlooms, their antique items, and the New York Stock Exchange just about a month ago,
right,
they declared pop culture items and trading cards and comic books as liquid assets you can use in your taxes and basically as like art. You know how art has value?
Yeah.
So like it's the nostalgia is selling right now.
Right.
We have grown up. The people who love Pokemon when we were young, we grew up, and now we want to keep opening Pokemon cards. That's what we do.
Yeah, if you've been part of the auction, we call it we are the Cereal Bowl squad, right? Yeah. Animaniacs, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dexter's Laboratory, Cow Chicken, Power Rangers, Pokemon, you name it. We are those kids with money now. Yep. And that's really what it is. We've grown up, we got funds, and we're gonna make an impact.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I saw and I know you guys, did you guys end up auctioning them on the whatnot on Halloween?
Halloween we did Funko Pops, but that Thursday before we've instituted what's something new. It's pack battles, where we basically have set up a game out of it. We've developed a point system and everything. We sell different trainer slots, or what are they called? And that was the Thursday before the Halloween event. Yeah,
it was a great event. We actually pre-sold out the day before.
Yeah, it was a great time.
We opened up Pokemon cards. We hit a lot of cards, a lot of very expensive cards.
Yeah,
we hit that big Charizard everybody's been talking about lately. We hit that guy. Yeah. So somebody got really lucky.
Yeah, I mean, and again, when we say we hit them, remember, people are paying us to open the packs for them, and our our people are hitting these things. I mean, we have one guy in the United Arab Emirates, we've probably sent him about, if you go based off today's value, about $10,000 worth of cards, and he's probably paid all in 600-700.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow. Yeah, my sister was super unhappy when I called her a few weeks ago just to check.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, because she used to be into the, like, she was a huge Beanie Baby collector. And I mean, those are, what are those anymore? And
still got a bunch.
A Pokemon card collector. So I was like, oh man. I was like, she still has these. So I called her and I was like, you wouldn't happen to have them? And she was like, no, she gave them to our niece and nephews, which are probably shredded up, fed to the dog or something. And she was so disappointed. I'm like, dude, it's becoming like, I mean, again, it's never gone away. I was like, but it just spiked. I was like, and you would be able to sell those, really, really sell those. And she was very disappointed, as was I, because I was planning on being like, oh yeah, they're okay. You know, let me just take them off your hands.
Really quickly, I'm going to check the value on these for you. It's probably nothing. You know, that's just cardboard at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like $20. Here you go. No worries. I'll take care of it. That would have been great. So, do you guys still collect Pokemon cards, like, for yourselves?
Yes.
We've actually gotten into a more expensive habit, which is collecting Pokemon cards, but also now sending them out to get graded and collecting the graded cards. So, I mean, you know, if you're a comic book collector, you know that slab life is the real life, you know. So when it comes to Pokemon cards, you wanna have slabs.
Fair enough. Yeah, you do. I know how important they are for comic books, so I can imagine that they are. I see a lot of people wearing gloves when they're touching cards. And I mean, I don't wear gloves like if I'm taking like a Funko Pop out of its thing. I mean, I'm, you know, not like drenched in hot sauce or grease from pizza, but is it a big deal? Like fingerprints or like the oil from your fingers, does it make a big difference? I'm not super into collecting cards myself.
So cards are pieces of paper, and pieces of paper are very easily manipulated.
Sure.
You pull it out of the pack wrong, it comes out crooked. You scratch it with your hangnail, or you know, you bend it or something like that. So we're trying to preserve the cards. It's also kind of, you know, just an act of the fun of it all. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Black gloves on? What? He's taking this seriously. When really it was like, oh man, we should wear black gloves because it looks badass.
Yeah.
So, is it safe to say that you guys were, and I want to use it carefully, I guess, not a majority, but did you guys really, like, the main focus for Stash Loot is Funko Pops? Or are you equally, like, as dedicated to the cards and other collectible items?
So, I mean, Stash Loot, we've thrived off of Funko Pops, right? And obviously we're in the middle of using Pokemon as something to thrive on. But we like to think of us as more of a collectibles company as a whole, right? Because if you've been to our pop-up shops or seen some of the content, I mean, we sell Space Jam jerseys. We've got, you know, cosplay props. We've got Disney pins. We've got hats. We've got shirts. You know, we've got other types of toys and memorabilia, right? But that stuff isn't as, you know, for lack of a better word, as appealing when you're doing these live markets, right? So right now we've got to be smart, right? At the end of the day, we love making this hobby, right? But the best part about it is we turn this hobby into a business, right? We are trying to find a way to do things differently than everybody else does. And in a way, it's making sure that Funko Pops and Pokemon continue to fund us as a whole.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've got the NSYNC dolls sitting in storage somewhere, all 5 of them. I've got Kid Robot toys and, you know, an X-Men Marvel set that is completely destroyed. I won't let it go because it's a cool toy. And I know somebody out there would love it.
quick question. Are you an NSYNC fan?
I mean, you know, yes. Yes.
No judgment.
No, just I mean, proud of it, right?
I dig. So, all right. It's either the Backstreet Boys or someone in NSYNC or NSYNC. I can't remember what guy it is, but they had something similar like this wrapped around. I think it's their forearm. I think it's one of those boy bands, and I really can't remember which one.
I mean, there was Backstreet Boys and Sync, right? You got a few of them to pick from.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me. So, going back really quickly to auctions. So, you guys, when you started running your online auctions, was on Instagram, and now you guys have been jumping on and doing the Whatnot auctions. So, how do you feel? How different? I mean, I actually just went on for the first time on Halloween. So, and I don't run many auctions on Instagram or anything like that style.
Yeah.
But how is it different for you guys? Would you prefer running an auction on Whatnot, or would you prefer Instagram? Just in like the auction way.
I think the auctions on Instagram were basically an answer to the pandemic in the fact that, you know, people couldn't really go out and buy stuff. Because if you put it down on paper, you know, Instagram sales it's a little unstable.
Right.
You know, the not the frequency, but more
the follow through, right?
The follow through. You know, you have to send an invoice, depending how you do it. You know, you have to let the person wants to pop at the end of the night and ends up paying for it, and then pays for it, and then we can send it out. You know, whereas Whatnot answer to Instagram, obviously, they created this platform which does make it easier for
with the on-demand purchase aspect of it.
But there's pros and cons to both. We right now I wouldn't say that we prefer either or, but we're definitely the difference.
I mean, you yourself, like you do these 3 from FUNKOs, and you've had your Instagram crowd, and now you're transitioning to another platform. So it's necessarily about trying to broaden the scope, right? Because if we all stayed on Instagram and Instagram shut down tomorrow, right, we'd all have a lot less things to talk about. So, we'd all have a lot less things to talk about. So it's kind of like I am ready to find out how we can take it to a level where we can find something that suits markets. Because right now, Whatnot is going to be the best platform, the better platform for us to drive sales, right? But our following and our base for people is coming from Instagram, right? And some of those people, like us, like you, use both platforms, so they cross over a lot. So, you know, we want to keep the auctions fun, man. We love entertaining. We do the light shows. I give everybody a name. I think I've dubbed you H1K at some point, and you know, and I've got
everybody, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, everybody H1K, that was totally 100% from STASHHH LOOT. And I love it. I put it on everything. I love it.
Good.
Okay, so thank you very much for that.
And it's like one of those things where that's what the auction does to me, man. I don't know. I get in there and I get animated, right? I yell all kinds of things. I have all kinds of funny stories.
So there's an entertainment aspect to this. So a little bit of background. We do come from the entertainment business. We are retired.
I guess.
Okay.
Formerly of
we used to be in the music industry, and dealt a lot with putting shows and performing. So that's part of it's basically everything we did as kids, like collect toys and buy toys and Pokemon cards and all that, and then the stuff we did as adults, in the entertainment business, and we just kind of like brought them together.
You learn something new.
Yeah. Every single time. So, other than, I guess, Pokemon, so you guys went over like some of the different things that you sell and collect. Skipping the recent Pokemon surge, do you guys have an idea or maybe a prediction on what kind of collectible item or toy is going to kind of pop up next?
Yeah, I mean, things I think with Hot Wheels, like,
Oh, breaking up a little bit.
yeah, I said Hot Wheels are like their own kind of like huge size communities, right? Not like super popular where it's in your face like Funko and Pokemon, but I think Hot Wheels are widely accessible to people. They take a little bit of knowledge and they kind of make you feel like you're a part of this group of people, right? Which is what Funko kind of was before it kind of went mainstream and a lot more people knew about it. Where Hot Wheels is still kind of huge, but it's still kind of this small community. So I wouldn't be too surprised if there was one thing or one license or one type of design that just set Hot Wheels off, and it's the next thing we're all talking about.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't collect any of those myself, but that's definitely one of the brands that and Hot Toys.
Oh yeah, that's an expensive habit though.
Yeah.
I know, but it's not. I feel like that's also another collectible item that is a real like heavy market. It's like a smaller, not as like broad, I guess, as maybe Funko, but
Yeah.
it's one of the ones that you don't hear about as often. But like when you start talking about it, it's like everybody knows about it. It's come out of the woodwork. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, because it gives you that Hot Toys, Sideshow Collectibles, they give you pieces, right, that are truly, I mean, remarkable, right? You pay for what you get. It's honestly, it's an investment in both money and time, right? Because I think you can pre-order some of these things 2-3 years before they come out, you know, and you're waiting that long, but it's about being a part of that group of people that got these, because they don't make these in the masses like they would Funko Pops.
I think it's like 800.
Yeah, they're making like runs of 800 or something like that, right? So the detail and the complexity, and then again, if you're a Venom or Street Fighter or Spider-Man, Hulk, whatever it is, the details on these pieces and to display them and showcase them, it's an expensive habit. But I mean, I couldn't say that that's definitely something I'd love to get into.
Oh man, they are secret though. I don't hear a ton about them at all, and I can't remember the first time that I actually heard about them, but I didn't know how pricey they were until I can't remember the one that I saw either, but I came across one and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." Clicked on it and I was like, "Oh, hey."
Yep.
All right, so.
Horror. I haven't seen any horror ones recently, anyway.
You know, I had Fearsome Figures on last week.
I did watch that, yeah.
Yeah, for our little Halloween edition where my daughter so graciously was being a psycho in her bedroom and distracting me the entire time. Yeah. But they sell like the NECA? Yeah.
Figures.
Those are really cool. And I mean, I'm super big into
Clearly.
I mean, you know, just a little. So is there any, I'm not super up to date. Is there any new drops coming with Hot Toys? Do you guys do you follow them?
Not as much, honestly, not as much with Hot Toys, because again, I can't afford one, but I would like to, like, it's like one of those things where we're so caught up in everything and trying to keep our pulse on Funko right now. Because Funko, I mean, just as much as Pokemon, Funko is clearly shifted in a new way, right? So it's like one of those things where we want to keep our attention and focus there. But again, Hot Toys, Sideshow Collectibles, NECA, that's definitely a place where I'd like to get into.
We'd like to bring everything together.
Yeah, eventually.
Online, the conventions, the pop-up shops, and who knows, hopefully STASHHH LOOT a store one day. That'd be great.
That'd be sick.
Have you guys gotten into the plastic? Like the janky, any of those stuff?
I love the moment they've done. I know that there's some people, I know BPH huge on them, and I think Ha is really huge on them too. So that's really where I've seen them and kind of kept up with it. But again, another community that I'm not really too familiar with. But I know that those spray can ones are sick.
So I actually thought that it was actual spray paint, like in the can. When I first come across them.
Yeah, told me that.
Yeah, no, it's just a can. There's no spray paint in there. I was a little disappointed because I was at the same time of I'm probably never going to open and use it.
Okay.
But knowing that like that's not even an option now. Like, and to know what like you pay for a spray paint can is just
No.
But it's like we love them, just keep telling ourselves.
I even came to find out about plastic, super plastic by I'm really into, or I like to think that I'm really into the Tech 63 by Quicks. I don't know if you're familiar with those. I mean, those figures that of designer toys and in their own respect, very pricey and very limited and hard to get as well.
Mm-hmm. I pre-ordered, so I didn't mean to. The Gigamon that just
Yeah.
One of the last ones that had released in the past couple of months. In my head, I don't read things when I go to buy sometimes. So when there's like a big thing that's like pre-order, big bold letters, like you aren't ordering this now. I ordered, so pumped.
Why not?
And I got my thing and it was like, cool, this is going to drop in spring. And I'm like, you mother Teresa.
Very much. I pre-ordered something for next month. I got you. I actually did the same. I was about to buy the black box, the Black Series Mandalorian, and I was pumped. I was like, oh, nice. I'm going to catch this restock. I get to Amazon. It's June of 2021. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Oh, Malone's in here. Clint's in here. Welcome in, guys. Oh, fellow flippers. Yeah. Funko flippers.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Whoops. There you go. I should see the chat, but I can't. So, hi, everybody.
All right. So, we are getting towards the end, and this is where I would like to kind of give you guys a few minutes to talk about you, if you guys have anything coming up that you want to share. I actually did have a question before that.
Huh?
You guys had mentioned that Thursday auction that you guys did before Halloween. Is that something that you guys are planning on doing on a regular basis? Because that sounded really cool.
Tell them about it.
Yeah, so we've partnered with Whatnot. We've been talking to them for the past couple weeks, and we're going to actually do a Pokemon Pack Battle Trainer League.
Yep. It's going to be season 5 events.
Yeah.
We're calling it season 1, where you do a buy-in, and it gives you access through the season to kind of compete and get to keep all your pulls. It's really entertaining. Ultimately, you're competing for the same badges that they do in Pokemon. So every week, if you win your battle against the weekly competitors, you'll get home. You'll be able to take your badge week to week. Whoever's got the most badges at the end, top 2 go into a champions round, and then there'll be one champion crowned after 5 events.
Wow, that's really cool. When are you guys? Is that announced? When is that?
Oh, we just announced it right now with you guys. I mean, we kind of just. And we're working on all the graphics now.
You'll see all the marketing on Friday.
Yeah.
The main announcement Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
And all the tickets will be up for sale Friday.
Yeah, we're slated to get our placeholder with Whatnot and everything on Friday. All fly about then. So definitely more information about it on our Instagram. And it's going to be a great time. That entertainment factor is going to be there. Trust me.
Wow. That's really exciting. That's super different than like anything that they've had going on there so far. So that's going to be super exciting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and of course, in addition to that, we're going to be doing FUNKO, of course, continuously. Like I said, we've got a lot of grails coming, a lot of good items that we're going to put up for auction. Buy it now. I mean, we've got over 1,500 items in stock right now that we're just waiting to display and put out, you know. And so with the Pokemon, you'll see us also having a lot of FUNKO auctions happening too. So we got a lot of big things coming up. We're really, you know, as I like to say, we're truly, truly blessed to be able to have both platforms and be able to work through them and kind of make it through this pandemic the way a lot of people haven't been able to.
Wow. I'm really excited for what you guys have coming up.
It's pumping. I'm pumped.
So, I mean, in the mix of all this, are you guys planning on doing like more and more mystery boxes? Is that something you guys might like slow down with like all like the live stuff going on?
So the whole mystery box. So just to be upfront, mystery box culture is very what they're getting.
Right. People want to know exactly what it is that's in there.
Yeah, some mystery boxes aren't good enough for some people. Some mystery boxes are great for some people.
Right.
And that's the game, we play. And I think what happened with mystery boxes for us was we were doing mystery boxes a lot and pumping them out weekly at some point.
Right.
And, you got to fill those mystery boxes with grand prizes.
Right. Yeah. So we were putting up like 8 grand prizes in our mystery boxes, 150 boxes. Right. So it kind of broke down to every 25 boxes were kind of supposed to get a grand prize type thing. But, that's 300 pops or so out the door. Right. So
rather than like getting less quality mystery boxes, we rather just not give mystery boxes until we have quality inventory to go ahead and do mystery boxes again.
Yeah, we don't want to do an inventory dump mystery box. You know what I mean? Like we could, right? Mystery boxes would be a great way for us to move a lot of the stuff that we have on our shelves that wouldn't move as fast in auctions and stuff like that. But again, it's off with not even selling online and the reputation and that we kind of hold ourselves to, right? Like that's not necessarily anybody else. Like at the end of the day, we're collectors too, right? So when I open up a mystery box, I expect it to be some kind of quality. And I feel like if we just started doing mystery boxes to the frequency that we were before auctions were a huge thing and things like that, we kind of would just be doing a disservice to both our brand and our name and to the people that support us. So mystery boxes, yes, will be coming when TB, but a lot of great things, honestly, in store. STASHHH LOOT, the Stash fam, and the Funko community as a whole.
Wow. Well, I'm very excited for you guys. You both seem to have very good heads on your shoulders. You guys have really blown out of the water in what you guys are doing, and especially in just adapting to the giant change of literally basing your business off of popping up and having everybody come meet to literally having to just switch it to all online. You guys are incredible. And really, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm glad I got to like pick your brain a bit.
Listen, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you for having me on the H1K. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. The H1K show has been truly spectacular.
I need this.
In the building. Dan Loot, thank you so much for having us. We're pumped for everything to come. Big shout out to H1K, House of 1,000 Pops. Follow her right here.
And follow him.
Right here.
Oh, nope, right there. There we go.
Follow.
You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And guys, stay tuned for Friday when you guys release this special information.
Yeah, we're on this Sunday on Whatnot for the graded card auctions. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Then we're on the 12th with Whatnot for our Funko Pops. Definitely got a lot of great stuff. Grails, New York Comic Con stuff, SDCC stuff, old school kind of stuff. And then again, look out for the Pack Battle League on Whatnot. We've got things booked pretty much through the 5th of January. So stay tuned.
Yes, everybody. STASHHH LOOT, Dan, and Jay. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, wrong way. I'm like STASHHH LOOT.
H1K, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I'll talk soon.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little chat. I'm super pumped. I really like the YouTube setup. Feels easier to navigate, not on like my phone, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. But let me know what you guys think of the chat. Now we are gonna do the giveaway. So if you guys are following me over on Instagram, if you're not, at House of 1,000 Pops. But we were doing a giveaway with the signed, making us all popcorn, no worries. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are great. But we are doing, so it was an Otis Driftwood signature that was, what's the word I'm thinking of? That was just so graciously donated as a giveaway item from Fearsome Figures last Wednesday. So I gave it a week, about like 6 days for it to run. So I'm gonna hop off of this live. I'm gonna get all of that stuff situated, and then I'm gonna either try to come back on live if it's gonna work to let me share my screen and whatnot, or I will do a similar thing where I will just make the video and post it tonight. So stay tuned. I will see you guys in a little bit, but thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited for this chat to be weekly and on YouTube. I'm pumped to just have moved it over. So next week we have Skittles Rampage on. I'm super pumped. I'm sure you guys have heard about him, but he is on next week. Next Wednesday, we will be here live again on YouTube. And then he is the second to last. And then we have Monthly Pops is going to finish our November. I'm going to be taking the last week of Thanksgiving off. And then we come back. We got two wonderful, wonderful people coming on to end the year. And then I'll be back in January. We have the owner of Bim Toy coming on, and also the wonderful franchise. See, popcorn hungry. I'm thinking about cheese. Franchise Kicks. Clint will also be on. He's actually going to be our like year breaker. It's going to be good. So I'm super pumped to finish this out throughout the year, and then we'll come back, 2021 with some other stuff. But I will see you guys in a little bit. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you so much. I'll see you next week.